I told you that Hugh Jackman actually drowned on set, that David Bowie's casting was pure cosmic destiny, or that Christian Bale learned a twisted psychological trick that still haunts him today. The Prestige isn't just Christopher Nolan's most underrated masterpiece. It's a film wrapped in secrets darker than anything you saw on screen. From the actor who performed real death-defying stunts without safety nets, to the $200,000 warehouse of corpses that traumatized the crew, to the eerie numerical coincidence that connects Nikola Tesla's actual death to the film's finale. These aren't your typical behind-the-scenes stories. These are the obsessive, dangerous, and downright weird truths that prove Nolan's magnum opus about obsession was made by people just as obsessed. And stick around until the end, because the bonus fact about what happened on the final day of shooting will completely change how you see that haunting last scene. Let's reveal the secrets behind cinema's greatest magic trick. Fact 1. Here's something that'll make your skin crawl. Hugh Jackman performed the water tank escape himself. No stunt double, no safety net. And here's the kicker. Jackman is severely claustrophobic. During multiple takes, he genuinely panicked underwater, thrashing against the glass while the crew watched helplessly. That terror you see in his eyes, that's not acting, that's real panic. The production had medical staff on standby for every water scene because Jackman insisted on doing it authentically. He later admitted in interviews that he'd wake up with nightmares about drowning for months after filming. Nolan reportedly felt guilty, but Jackman refused a double, saying Angier would do it himself, so I have to. That's not dedication. That's the same obsession that destroys the characters. Jackman literally risked his life for authenticity.
And yes, often I can get attracted to a role and the movie may not, match it, but I just would love to play that character. This is one of those rare things where all three converged and it was an instantaneous decision for me.
Fact 2. Remember that bone-chilling final reveal? The warehouse filled with drowned Angier clones in water tanks? The production spent over $200,000 creating 100 individual corpse dummies. But here's the disturbing part. Each dummy was custom-made with unique facial expressions of death. The prop team studied actual drowning victim autopsy photos to make them realistic. Several crew members requested transfers off the set because working surrounded by dozens of dead Hugh Jackmans became psychologically unbearable. The dummies were so realistic that when studio executives visited the set, one reportedly fainted. After filming wrapped, the props were immediately destroyed because no one wanted them. Even prop collectors refused to buy them. The warehouse set was considered cursed by the crew, and some still won't discuss what filming there was like. Fact 3. Christopher Nolan wrote the role of Nikola Tesla specifically for David Bowie, before even asking him. When Nolan sent the script, Bowie initially declined, calling it too perfect to touch. But then something strange happened. Bowie was reading a biography of Tesla and discovered they shared the same birthday, January 8th. He called Nolan immediately and said, "I think Tesla wants me to do this." Even weirder, this became Bowie's final theatrical film role. He retired from feature films afterward, as if Tesla was the one role he was cosmically meant to play. Bowie later said in a rare interview that playing Tesla felt like channeling someone who was still watching. The Prestige became his cinematic swan song, and he knew it during filming.
David Bowie was my first and only choice to play Tesla, so he took a little bit of convincing, but it's relatively easy to convince somebody when you're going to them and saying you're the only person that can play this part.
Fact 4. This coincidence is absolutely chilling. Nikola Tesla died in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel in 1943. In the Prestige, Angier's theater where everything culminates has the address 3327. Nolan discovered this connection after filming wrapped. He nearly collapsed when a researcher pointed it out, but it gets darker. The film was released on October 20th, 2006, exactly 100 years after Tesla's famous wireless power transmission demonstration that's referenced in the movie. Nolan swears these were unintentional coincidences, but some crew members became convinced the film was somehow connected to Tesla's actual spirit. One electrician quit, claiming the Tesla coils behaved strangely, like something was controlling them. Whether you believe in cosmic alignment or not, these coincidences are undeniably eerie. Fact 5. Christian Bale took method acting to a disturbing new level. For months before filming, he stalked identical twins, not casually observing, actually following twin pairs in public, studying how they moved, finished each other's sentences, and shared bizarre, unconscious synchronicities. He interviewed over 40 sets of twins, asking invasive questions about their psychological connection. Bale insisted on playing both Borden personas with microscopically different physical mannerisms, a slightly different gait, posture, even blinking pattern. Most viewers never consciously notice, but your brain does. Nolan said Bale's preparation was frightening and obsessive in ways that mirrored the character too closely. After filming, Bale admitted he struggled to stop thinking like two people. The role genuinely affected his psychology, and he's refused to discuss the specifics in recent years.
It's a fantastic movie. It's constructed in a way unlike any other movie that I've seen. I worked really well with Christopher on Batman. You know, it was a good team.
Fact 6. The production didn't use replicas. They bought actual Victorian-era magic apparatus from private collectors and museums. One authentic Chinese water torture cell component cost over $50,000 alone. The production team spent months tracking down genuine 19th century illusion props, including Houdini-era handcuffs, original spirit cabinet panels, and real collapsing bird cages from the 1890s. Insurance costs were astronomical because these were irreplaceable historical artifacts. One Victorian disappearing cabinet was on loan from a private collector who required 24-hour armed security on set. Some props were so fragile they could only be filmed once. After production, most were donated to the Magic Circle in London, where they remain on display as the Prestige Collection. Fact 7. Michael Caine wasn't just playing a magic engineer, he became one. Legendary magician Ricky Jay, who also appears in the film, personally trained Caine in authentic Victorian magic techniques. Caine spent weeks learning genuine sleight of hand, misdirection principles, and stage illusion mechanics. He can actually perform several tricks legitimately now. During filming, Caine would entertain the crew with real magic tricks between takes. Nolan was so impressed he added several unscripted moments of Caine demonstrating actual illusions. The knowledge obsessed Caine. He joined London's exclusive magic circle as an honorary member after filming. He said that learning magic secrets ruined watching magic shows forever because now I see the trick instead of the wonder.
Robert, listen to me. Obsession is a young man's game.
Fact 8. Those massive Tesla coils weren't movie props. They were real, functional electrical generators that could genuinely kill someone. The production hired electrical engineers and required special insurance because the coils generated authentic million-volt arcs. Every scene with the Tesla machine required complete set evacuation except essential personnel wearing protective gear. The electromagnetic fields were so powerful they erased crew members' credit cards and disrupted pacemakers. Someone with a pacemaker couldn't even enter the soundstage. During one take, an arc jumped unexpectedly and nearly struck a camera operator. The danger was real. The machine actually worked, creating genuine electrical phenomena. Nolan later admitted maybe functional coils were unnecessarily dangerous, but the authentic electrical chaos on screen was worth the risk. Several crew members disagreed. Fact 9. That mesmerizing opening shot where Bale makes a crushed bird resurrect and fly away? Total cinematic deception, and darker than you think. They filmed it entirely in reverse. The crew filmed a live bird, then filmed a dead bird that died naturally, they claim, then played the footage backward. This means you're actually watching a bird die in reverse, creating the illusion of resurrection. It's a perfect metaphor for the film's themes, but here's the disturbing part. The crew needed multiple dead birds for multiple takes. Animal handlers provided naturally deceased birds, but PETA investigated the production anyway. The opening shot's magic is built on death played backward, just like Angier's trick.
See, look, now bring it back.
Fact 10. Scarlett Johansson replaced another actress just 3 weeks before filming began. The costume department had a complete meltdown. Victorian corsets are custom fitted and take weeks to construct properly. The team worked 18-hour days creating Johansson's entire wardrobe from scratch. But here's the real problem. Johansson's American accent kept breaking through. Despite her preparation, about 15% of her dialogue had to be completely re-recorded in post-production to fix accent slips. Some scenes required phonetic coaching between every take. Nolan later admitted Johansson's casting was risky and nearly disastrous, but her chemistry with Jackman and Bale was too perfect to replace. She pulled it off, but it was a nail-biting gamble until the final edit.
I am here because he sent me here. He wants me to come and work for you and steal your secret.
Fact 11. Here's a mind-bender. The Prestige's plot is literally structured like a magic trick with 3 acts. The Pledge, The Turn, and The Prestige. But Nolan took it further. He edited the film in the same fragmented, non-linear way it's told, then reassembled it chronologically before refragmenting it into the final cut. His editor, Walter Murch, called the process maddeningly brilliant but nearly impossible to track. Nolan's editing bay had 3 different timelines running simultaneously. The film's structure mirrors the transported man illusion, showing you the same moment from different perspectives, making you question what's real. The movie isn't just about a magic trick. It is a magic trick. The entire film is the illusion, with the final reveal recontextualizing everything you watched. Fact 12. The film's haunting final shot, Cutter walking through the warehouse of drowned Angiers, wasn't in the script. Michael Caine improvised it on the last day of shooting, silently walking through the nightmare he helped create. Nolan loved it so much he restructured the entire ending sequence to incorporate it. That final moment transforms Cutter from innocent victim to complicit witness, adding a layer of moral horror Nolan hadn't originally intended. The shot took one take. Caine's expression of devastated realization was genuine. He was emotionally processing the character's guilt in real time. That single improvised moment elevated the ending from good to devastating. It's the prestige of the film itself, the final reveal that changes everything you thought you understood about Cutter's innocence.
Alfred Borden.
Fact 13. Andy Serkis didn't just play Tesla's assistant Allie, he became a Tesla scholar. Serkis tracked down rare Edison film footage of the real Nikola Tesla from the 1890s, studying his nervous mannerisms and eccentric movements. Tesla had a specific way of moving his hands when excited and a unique head tilt when thinking. Serkis incorporated these authentic gestures into his performance as Allie, essentially channeling Tesla's actual physical presence through the assistant character. Most viewers never notice consciously, but Serkis is performing a historical ghost. Tesla experts who've seen the film claim Serkis captured Tesla's energy perfectly. Nolan called Serkis's research obsessively detailed beyond what the role required. Sound familiar? The obsession infected everyone.
I saw your show in London. 7 times you guessed every object the audience had in their pockets.
Fact 14. The Hall of Mirrors scene nearly broke the visual effects team. Every reflection had to be digitally cleaned of modern equipment. Cameras, lights, crew members, even exit signs. But mirrors don't just reflect once. They reflect reflections of reflections, creating infinite visual layers. The VFX team spent 3 months on a 2-minute scene, manually painting out modern elements from thousands of reflected surfaces across multiple recursive reflection layers. Several artists quit from the tedious, mind-numbing work. One described it as digital torture. Nolan admitted it was possibly not worth the effort, but refused to compromise. The mirror scene's perfection cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like Angier's obsession with perfecting his trick, Nolan's perfectionism bordered on self-destructive. Fact 15. Nolan's transported man illusion wasn't pure fiction. A real magician performed it in the 1890s using a hidden twin brother. Nolan discovered this while researching Victorian magic and built the entire film around it. The historical magician kept his twin secret for decades, living Borden's exact nightmare. When the truth emerged after his death, it destroyed his legacy. Audiences felt betrayed, exactly like Angier's audience would feel. This real-life precedent proves the film's central tragedy isn't fantasy. It happened. A real magician sacrificed everything, lived a fractured double life, and died with his secret intact. Nolan called discovering this historical parallel the moment I knew this film had to be made. Fact 16. The ornate Victorian theater used for key scenes was scheduled for demolition the month after filming. The Prestige was literally one of the last productions to ever shoot there. The building had stood since 1897 and hosted actual Victorian-era magic shows, the same era depicted in the film. Some crew members reported strange occurrences, unexplained cold spots, equipment malfunctions, and one camera operator swore he saw a figure in Victorian clothing in the wings who vanished. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's something poetic and eerie about filming a movie about obsessive magicians in a theater, where real obsessive magicians performed, days before its final destruction. The building was demolished 3 weeks after filming wrapped. Fact 17. Christopher Priest, author of the original novel, specifically requested a cameo from Nolan. He appears briefly as a bartender in a Victorian pub scene. But here's what's fascinating. Priest was initially unhappy with script changes Nolan made, particularly the altered ending. The cameo was his way of making peace with Nolan's vision. During filming his scene, Priest watched the actors perform and reportedly told Nolan, "You understood something about the story I didn't consciously realize I'd written." That moment of the author recognizing deeper truth in the adaptation became a strange meta moment of the story understanding itself better through transformation. The cameo symbolizes acceptance of necessary change. Fact 18. The art department created over 150 identical top hats for various scenes, particularly the hat duplication sequence. Each hat had to be perfectly identical in wear, dust accumulation, and even internal sweat staining to maintain visual continuity. One person's full-time job for 3 months was hat consistency maintenance. After production, most hats were donated to London's Magic Circle Museum, where they remain on display. But here's the strange part. The museum reports that visitors become obsessed with finding differences between the supposedly identical hats, staring at them for hours. The hats have become their own illusion, the audience searching for the trick in objects that are genuinely identical, proving the film's theme. We can't help but search for deception. Fact 19. The prop team created those 100 corpse dummies with unique facial expressions of death, each one different. But here's the horrifying detail most miss. If you pause and examine each tank in the warehouse scene, you'll notice the expressions progress chronologically through stages of realization. The earliest Angier clones look surprised. Middle ones show terror. The final ones show resigned acceptance. The prop team designed a psychological timeline of Angier's evolving understanding of his fate with each duplication. Most viewers never consciously notice, but your subconscious registers the horrifying progression. Angier slowly realizes he's killing himself with each performance, yet continues anyway. That subliminal detail makes the reveal even more devastating, the obsession visible even in death. Fact 20. Christopher Nolan edited The Prestige in the same fragmented timeline as the story itself, cutting scenes non-linearly before assembling chronologically, then refragmenting into the final cut. His editing bay ran 3 parallel timelines simultaneously. Nolan would cut the same scene 3 different ways depending on which narrative timeline you were experiencing. His editor called it the most complex editing challenge in modern cinema. Assistants kept getting lost in which timeline they were working in. This obsessive editing process took twice as long as normal and nearly drove everyone mad. But it created the film's disorienting, reality-questioning effect. Nolan's editing method mirrored Angier's obsession, a technically brilliant technique that consumed everything. The filmmaker became the magician, obsessed with perfecting the impossible. Bonus fact. Here's something that'll blow your mind. One of the massive Tesla coils built for the film still exists and still functions. It's housed in a private collection in California, and the owner occasionally fires it up. Here's where it gets weird. Several electrical engineers who've examined it claim the coil's design includes elements that shouldn't work according to standard electromagnetic theory, but do anyway. It's as if building a fictional Tesla machine required accidentally discovering some of Tesla's lost engineering principles. The coil generates electrical patterns that some Tesla researchers claim match descriptions from his lost Colorado Springs notes. Whether the prop builder stumbled onto something real or its elaborate mythology, the machine's existence blurs fiction and reality, just like the film itself. The Prestige never ends. And there you have it, 20 insane secrets that prove The Prestige wasn't just a movie about obsession, it was obsession. From Hugh Jackman nearly drowning himself, to the warehouse of 200,000 corpses, to cosmic coincidences connecting Tesla's real death to the film's finale. Christopher Nolan created cinema's greatest magic trick by living the same dangerous obsession that destroys his characters. But here's the real question. Are you watching closely? Because just like Angier's transported man, this video has secrets hidden in plain sight. If you caught them all, drop a comment with which fact disturbed you most. Smash that like button if your mind is blown, subscribe for more insane movie secrets that'll change how you watch cinema, and hit the notification bell because next week I'm revealing the dark truth behind another Nolan masterpiece that's even more disturbing than this. Now, go rewatch The Prestige. You'll never see it the same way again. The real magic is rewatching it knowing the truth.